Imagine you're planning a wedding. You tell the caterer, "We want good food for about 200 people." That's it. That's the whole brief. On the day, half your guests are vegetarians staring at a beef buffet. Your aunt with the nut allergy is in the car on the way to the hospital, and the food arrives 2 hours after the ceremony ends because nobody said what time to serve it. Nothing here was a cooking problem. Every single failure came from one thing. Nobody gathered the requirements properly. Now replace that wedding with a $2 million CRM implementation, and you've got my last 15 years of software projects in a nutshell. Welcome back to Project Management Fundamentals. I'm your host, Sam Nwasimuo, and today we're covering requirements gathering, the single most underrated skill in project management. I've spent my career in software development, and I'll tell you plainly, almost every failing project I've ever walked into was not failing because the developers were bad. It was failing because nobody had properly figured out what the thing was actually supposed to do. We'll cover the technical process, and we'll keep coming back to that wedding because the logic is identical. So what is requirements gathering technically? It's the process of researching, discovering, documenting, and validating the needs and expectations of stakeholders for a project. In plain English, it's the job of finding out what people actually want before you build anything. And here's the important distinction most people miss. There's what stakeholders say they want, what they actually need, and what they'll be angry about if it's missing, but never thought to mention. Good requirements gathering finds all three. The wedding version, your partner says, keep it simple, but they absolutely expect a first dance, a photographer, and their grandmother seated near the front. None of that was said out loud. All of it is a requirement. Why does this matter so much in real numbers? Industry research consistently finds that poor requirements are among the top causes of project failure, and the cost curve is brutal. A requirement defect caught during the gathering phase might cost $100 to fix. The same defect caught after the system goes live can cost 100 times more because now you're rewriting code, retraining users, and migrating data that's already in production. In a CRM rollout, discovering in month 9 that the sales team needs territory-based permissions, something nobody asked about in month 1, can mean re-architecting your entire data model. Same wedding logic. Changing the menu 3 weeks out is annoying. Changing it on the day is a catastrophe. Requirements come in distinct types, and mixing them up is where teams get burned. Let's break down the main categories. First, business requirements. These are the high-level goals of the organization, the why. For a CRM project, reduce customer response time by 40% and increase sales team visibility into the pipeline. Notice there's no mention of software features here. This is the outcome the business is paying for. Wedding equivalent. We want a day our families will remember without going into debt. That's the business requirement. Everything else serves it. Second, stakeholder requirements. These are what specific groups need. In a CRM project, sales wants fast mobile access to leads, support wants full ticket history on one screen, finance wants clean reporting for revenue forecasting, and IT wants it to integrate with the existing identity system. 4 groups, 4 completely different definitions of a good CRM. At the wedding, the couple wants a great party, the parents want family traditions respected, the venue wants everyone out by midnight. Same event, different requirements, and you have to reconcile all of them. Third, functional requirements. This is what the system must actually do. Specific, testable behaviors. The system shall allow a sales rep to convert a lead into an opportunity in 3 clicks or fewer. The system shall automatically log every inbound customer email against the correct account record. Notice these are testable
support tickets, and complaint logs, where requirements are often hiding in plain sight. Let me walk you through a realistic CRM scenario. A mid-sized company wants to replace their legacy CRM. In kickoff, the sales director says, "We just need something simpler than what we have." That is not a requirement. That's a feeling. So you dig. Interviews reveal reps are spending 2 hours a day manually copying data between the CRM and their email. Shadowing reveals they're tracking their real pipeline in a personal spreadsheet because they don't trust the system's data. Workshop reveals finance needs a report the current system physically cannot produce, so someone rebuilds it by hand every month. Now you have real requirements: automatic email sync, a data quality and trust strategy, and a specific reporting capability. Something simpler would have gotten you a prettier version of the same broken system. Proper gathering got you the actual problem. The mistakes I see constantly: 1. Asking stakeholders what features they want instead of what problems they have. People will describe a solution they've imagined instead of the underlying need. 2. Only talking to managers, never to the people who use the system 8 hours a day. 3. Accepting vague language, user-friendly, fast, flexible, without turning it into something measurable. 4. Skipping non-functional requirements entirely until performance testing